morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel and our further look at lower tier tanks. Now today we have right gun, wrong tank, and that means we have a fantastic gun but a shit tank. We had this series a long time ago, right tank, wrong gun, where basically we just play tanks that are stock, but we kind of changed it up a bit, where we have right gun, wrong tanks, and that basically means a shit tank but a fantastic gun. And today we are looking at the Panzer SFL-4C, of course the Death Toaster. The toaster because it looks like a toaster. If you look on top, you could put either side of your you could put a piece of bread, a slice of bread either side of the gun, and it will toast. Yeah, it's true fact. I've tried it and it works. Try it. It does honestly work. So what is this tank all about? Of course, this used to be in the grill line before Wargaming made it into a collectible tank. Now, what are the stats of the tank? Of course, the armor is non-existent, has no armor whatsoever, so everyone, even tier 4, will be shooting HE at you. Yes, they will, because you have 20 millimeters, and that is the most that you're going to get. Now, the gun, 1876 DPM, the reload time is 7 seconds, so not great DPM, but not bad actually, to be honest. But the penetration, 194 on your AP, and 237 on your APCR. Now 237 millimeters of APCR pen is enough to get through anything in tier 6, so you don't need to run calibrated shells. Run the rammer just for that DPM. Now of course you do need to be careful who you're shooting at, where you're going to place your tank, because if as soon as someone looks at you, you're going to lose hit points. They only have to look at you to lose hit points. That's how bad your armor is. Average damage, you have 220 alpha on your AP, 190 on your APCR, but 270 on your HE. 3.2 aim time, which isn't bad, and 0.303 on your dispersion. Again, not bad, and it only has 5 degrees of gun depression. However, you do go 60 kilometers per hour. Now, I honestly think that this tank would be much better if it had like 10 degrees or maybe even 8 degrees of gun depression, because it does not have great gun depression and you do suffer because of that. So we're going to have a look at just a couple of games we done. Now you can't really perform too well in the tank, as I've said, even when you're in things like bot matchmaking, newbie matchmaking, or if you're against just bad players, it's still difficult to carry, because everyone's going to pen you. Doesn't matter if you're 60% or 30%. If you're coming up against those players, they will still penetrate you, and that's what you've got to be very careful about, because you drive a KV1 against in bot matchmaking or a T1 heavy, they're going to bounce. They're not going to be able to pen you. You drive this, the Death Toaster, they will pen you all day long. They will penetrate you. The only difference is a really bad player will just shoot you with AP or maybe even APCR. They won't think to switch to the HE. But most competent players will just, as soon as they see you, they will load HE. And that's what you got to be wary of. Now, how to play the tank is kind of simple. It is basically at the back of the map. You got to be as far away from your enemy as you possibly can, but of course you need to make sure that you have shots. Now, sitting in the position that I'm at, I wasn't having any shots. Now, considering there is 6 red team opened up on the left side, I now know that there is 1 this side of the map, and I'm quite confident that I would be able to take him. If I catch him off guard, I will be able to take him out, even with a tank with no armor. As long as I can take him off guard and he's not looking at me, I think I can take him out. So he has caught base C, and there he is, the P43 Abyss. Now luckily for me, he is running away and I am spotted, but he still doesn't want to turn around and focus me. Now there goes the angry Connor on the enemy team, and because he's not looking at me, he should be looking at me. I'm able just to farm up a bit of damage into his rear before he does drop down. But I do now have to be careful. I don't really want to chase him out because I'm just going to be in the line of fire. I'm happy just sitting here for now because I still have some shots out. And here comes the Leopard. Now again, get some side shot, or get a side shot into him. Now when it's a 6 versus 3, I don't really mind too much. I could be shot, no problem, because we pretty much won this game already. So it is now down to a 5 versus 2. This Britannia Panther is a one shot. We do manage to take him out, and it now just leaves the enemy Leopard. Now using the mobility of this tank, I want to get to him as soon as possible just to farm up a little bit more damage. But as you can see, it is a tier 5. It's a tier 5. In a tier 6 game, you're not going to get much damage. You're really not going to get much damage. Of course, against tier 4s, you probably will get more damage. But even against tier 4s, you're still not going to bounce anything. So it doesn't matter if you're top tier or bottom tier, you're still going to get penetrated no matter what. So that game, yeah, we finished on full hit points. We still managed to get 1,300 damage, and it was still a 3rd class. Of course, this is still a very difficult tank to ace, because it's just not because people are playing well in the tank, more because you just can't perform well. Now, as soon as I've seen this match, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, we're in a tier 4. There is a tier 4, but that's a fail tune. But they have 2 enemy KV2s. They have a Gargoyle. They have an SU-85. They can inflict a big amount of damage. I mean, I could be one-shotted from both of them KV2s. So yeah, I don't really want to go left, because I know if I go left, there will probably most likely be a couple of the heavy tanks. So I want to go and support my mediums, because I've got the speed to. I've got the speed to go and support my mediums and try to take them out, and then get shots off from across the map. That's my plan anyway. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Okay, go across, get some side shots, clear these mediums if they come this way, and considering the Chi-2 now has been spotted, someone is capping A, I know that there is a couple around here. Now, I do have a little bit of protection from my team behind, and I am playing a little bit aggressive, and it is just the AMX ELC. So we do get shot from him, but we're just going to back up. The best thing about this tank here, it can't rotate its turret all the way around, so as soon as it passes me like that, he can't do anything to me. So we do manage to easily take him out. So that's 1 tank down for our team and 1 tank down for the enemy team, and so far it looks like I made the right choice, because the KV2s have gone to the bridge on the left side. So now I need to take care of this Chi-2. Of course, he is a tier 6 tank, so I do need to be very, very careful, but as soon as he starts turning, there's no point me trying to back up. He's got me. I just want to clear him as soon as I possibly can, and considering I get help there from the Sherman Firefly, I do lose a little bit of hit points, but we still manage to clear another medium tank. And next up on my list is this Gargoyle. So I want to clear him. He's now a one-shot, so hopefully I don't low roll, which I do, but again, the Sherman Firefly is there to protect me, and before you know it, it is a 6 versus 4. Of course, there is still some big tanks out there. All the tanks left alive are pretty much big tanks that can still damage me heavily. Of course, I want to get behind these guys. There's 1 KV2 to the left, the other KV2 is here, so I just want to get behind them, because I need to take these guys out, because they're dangerous. You can see they're inflicting damage, and they are very dangerous. So of course, I want to take them out, but not risk dying myself. So I'm not looking at just staying here. He's looking my way. So because he's now looking my way, I don't want to push further forward. I just want to get back, because you can just see there he is looking. So I'm just going to be patient now and not go for him and just wait. So it is a 5 versus 4. The KV2 on the enemy team is now a one-shot. He does get killed by the Sherman Firefly. Once again, that Sherman Firefly has always been there. He's been there for the team, and he's performed really well. So now it is a 5 versus 2. Unfortunately, I only tracked that KV2 there. But again, at this point, while he's still there, I'm just going to go for the tracks again, but he just backs up in time to get a ricochet into the front plate of his. So 1,300 damage. It just now leaves the KV2. Again, I could just rush in at this point. We've won at this point, and I could sacrifice myself. I mean, we've got a lot of hit points as a team, and there's no way with the DPM that this KV2 has got, yeah, he's not going to win this. It's almost impossible to win this. So can I get a final shot in? I want to get a final shot. He is a one shot, and I do manage to get the final 3 damage, but I get the kill. So as you can see, it's very, very difficult to get the damage in this tank, but when you're in a position where you can do damage, the gun is absolutely amazing. It can pen pretty much anything that comes in front of it. Tier 6, tier 5, doesn't matter. So yeah, if you've got the tank, it can be a fun tank, but yeah, it's still a very difficult tank to play. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. That is the Death Toaster. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye. With